Well, Alabama Senator Katie Britt will be at the hearing today. She joins us now. It is great to have you. You went to Israel. You saw with your own eyes, and you've testified and as a witness to what happened with your own eyes, and you spoke very movingly about that. And now comes the part where Congress gets involved to see about the funding aspect of this. How do you think this is going to go with the House side, with the new speaker saying they're going to separate Ukraine from the Israel funding?
Well, first off, we want to make sure that we get Israel everything that she needs to defend herself as quickly and as unified as possible. To your earlier point, though, about speaking directly to what I saw, I think we have to continue to do that because, unfortunately, we have people in this country who are having trouble calling evil evil. I continue to see reports about people saying that this stuff never happened. What I say to them, Dana, is I saw it with my own eyes. These terrorists, these monsters, these barbaric attacks were captured by GoPro cameras. So I have seen them cut off people's heads, seen them rape women, seen them burn families alive. We must eradicate Hamas. And today, in front of the Senate Appropriations Committee, we'll be asking tough questions. The questions that I want answers to, there are many, but certainly, as you just reported about the strikes there on our military personnel and bases abroad, that must stop. When the president says don't, my question is does Iran understand that? They now say we have red lines. Does Iran know what those red lines are? And are we ready and capable to defend our servicemen and women and make sure that our nation and our country is safe?
And then for the funding for Israel, do you think that that will be smooth sailing in the Senate?
Well, as you know, Dana, nothing is smooth sailing these days. We'll certainly see what the House comes up with. I know that supporting Israel, standing shoulder to shoulder with Israel, is something that we are doing in a bipartisan fashion. People want to make sure that they have the proper aid. We need to make sure that everything, one of the questions I'll be asking today, if it's not asked before it gets to me, is are we giving them everything they need? Is there anything they requested that we're not able to get them? Figure out what those things are and figure out how we can make sure that we get the proper munitions and weaponry so that they can continue to replenish the Iron Dome and David's Sling and continue to defend themselves. So I'm hopeful that we'll get something moving one way or the other, and we get Israel what they need as soon as possible.
Do you think Ukraine will get the money it's requesting, that the Biden administration is requesting for Ukraine?
Well, we're going to have a lot of questions about that today, too. I think what you're seeing is people understand that stopping Putin dead in his tracks is exactly what we need, because an emboldened Russia isn't emboldened China, isn't emboldened Iran. However, there are some real questions that need to be answered. I'm not interested in funding pensions for the Ukrainian government. There are a lot of things where we believe that our NATO allies and others in Europe can step up and do more on the humanitarian front. And then also there's questions about how these munitions work with Ukraine, making sure that they have what they need, making sure that Israel has what she needs, and then also looking at Taiwan and where those munitions coincide. How are we going to supply that, and what is the plan of action there? So I think if we do with Ukraine, it'll be something that is more narrowly tailored than what you saw come out of the White House.
There's a powerful Wall Street Journal editorial today about civilization, really. The headline is "The Global War on the Jews. Antisemitism Surges Even in the West, which shows why Israel exists." Going on to say the disturbing fact of the past month is that Jews are under attack not only in Israel and not only by Hamas. This is how the West slips from never again into nowhere is safe. For people who might not realize that you were a staff member, a senior staff member on Capitol Hill on the Senate side before you're a U.S. Senator, you understand, I think, the stakes here in terms of evil. You speak very well to it. We're going to have a young woman on a little bit later who is a Jewish student. She is going to college here in New York City, and we're going to ask her to put us in her shoes. What can you say to somebody like that to reassure them that the United States government understands the plight and is going to fight for her?
We see you, we hear you, and we stand with you. I have made it my mission to make sure that we speak directly to this, not only about the atrocities that happened in Israel. As we know, Hamas and both Iran have said their main goal is to wipe Israel off the face of this planet, but also the Jewish people. We will absolutely not tolerate this, and particularly on American soil. So as we see these things happen on college campuses, I have been proud to sign on to Senator Scott's bill that says we will not allow taxpayer funding to go to promote to groups that are promoting genocide. You know, when we said never again, we must mean it. Never again. We stand with the Jewish people and we stand against hate. And that's another reason, too, we have to secure our southern border. What we saw happen on October 7th and then the open and porous border that we have here in the United States is really a tragedy. And unfortunately, we don't know who is here and where they are going and what their intentions are. And in September alone, we caught 18 known terrorists on the terrorist watch list at our border, which is more than we caught in the entire 4 years of the previous administration. So we have to take this serious. We have to make sure that we're not only doing what we need to in Israel, but that we are standing firmly with the Jewish people across the globe and here in this country, and let them know that we understand never again. We stand with them, and it means never again.
U.S. Senator Katie Britt, I know you have a hearing in less than 20 minutes. We'll let you get to it. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.